Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. It is exactly 14 after 9 o'clock, and next we'll be talking with Aishah Cassiem. She is a member of Parliament. She is the EFF Western Cape Provincial Treasurer, and that's a lovely pic I have up on my screen. Unfortunately, Aishah couldn't seem to connect up with us. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Salam,
Aishah? Lovely to have you on the show. Sorry that we can't do a video interview, but that's a very lovely pic that we have of you, mashallah. We're going to be talking about a pretty serious issue this morning. It's the Herzlia High School in Cape Town and their affiliation or being a sister school to a school in Israel or to Israel proper. And obviously, you are, as the EFF and other parties, taking very strong objection to this. What exactly is the narrative behind Herzlia High School?
Okay. The issue of Herzlia High School is a simple one to understand. It is not an issue of the Jewish community. It is not an issue of our Cape Town parents sending their children to a Jewish school to uphold their religious beliefs. And definitely not an attack on the Jewish community, because as the EFF, we believe that we all have the right to practice our own religion of choice, and we should be allowed to do so. So firstly, this is definitely not a religious issue. But the real issue here is rather about how the school enforces Zionism on its Jewish students and how it encourages its students to participate in apartheid activity and inhumane practices when encouraging them to join the Israeli Defense Force after completing grade 12. Just to recap, last month the directors of the school again during a TV interview proudly stated that 22% of the school students go to Israel immediately after finishing their matric to either study or to join the Israeli Defense Force. And he further emphasized it is something that the school connects with to make it practical and living, which means they do encourage their current students also to participate in the apartheid and inhumane practices once they complete school. And it is no surprise to us that we have schools like this in SA, especially under this Democratic Alliance-led province, because the EFF, along with the ANC as well, raised this issue in the legislature on Thursday. And, you know, the EFF called for the Western Cape Education Department to take action against the school and to deregister the school based on the fact that it was encouraging and enforcing apartheid and inhumane practices on its students. And instead, the DA's normal response, the usual response, along with the MEC of Education, he started laughing and he said, no, they will not take action, and started redirecting the attention to Ukraine. So this is the issue that we are faced with, you know, and it's very sad that we still have this, knowing the background and the history of South Africa.
Absolutely. To your knowledge, what are the young children at the school tasked with? Do they follow a regular curriculum, or are there added subjects to prepare them for their, you know, for their aspirations to be in Israel, whether it's for a gap year, whether it's to join the army, etc.?
Yes. So if you go onto the school's website, and they've got several social media pages as well. So Herzlia has about 4 campuses, all tasked with the same framework according to the website. Its main purposes, other than providing the usual educational framework, as all other schools are doing, is to embrace not only its Jewish identity, which is okay, you're allowed to embrace your Jewish identity, but they also enforce the practices according to the website. They embrace the practice of Zionism. And as the director said on the TV interview, they encourage the students to join the army after the school, which is something very dear to them. And this is once again where it becomes an issue. The funny thing is, which many of us don't know, many of the funders and the board of directors at the school are linked to companies who we engage with daily in our communities. I can name that a few include Samuel Steve, the owner and CEO of Steve Properties, and both Ronnie Stein and Eddie Albowitz, who are non-executive directors at the Sushini Group. These are members of the trust who are actively involved in the operations of the school.
So they're prepping their children to become oppressors, because really what they're teaching them is to go to Israel, and that is an apartheid system worse than what we were subject to back in the day. To go there and to go and kill innocent, young men, women, and children. And I kind of wonder how it sits with these children, all of this brainwashing. And their parents, are the parents aware of what is going on? Or are there a group of parents and children who are opposed to it? And I also understand that there was a protest at the school. Would that be in opposition to this type of conditioning?
Yes, definitely. I don't know if you can remember, in 2018, there were two students who were disciplined by the school for bending a knee in protest of the treatment of Palestinians. This was during the time the Israeli national anthem was being played at the school. These students said that in youth interviews, the students said that they were being forced to do as the school says and were not entitled to different views on the matter of Palestine and Israel. And at this time, the director of the school said that the boys' acts were embarrassing and inappropriate and had brought the school into disrepute. So definitely there are Jewish people within the Jewish community who are not in favor of what the school is doing. And if they do stand up to it, this is the statement that they are getting from the school. So once again, it goes back to the students are being forced to the practices of the school.
What is your message to South African Parliament and South Africans as a whole regarding this matter? Because I'm kind of wondering, if we've got this playing out in Cape Town at the Herzlia High School, are there not other little pockets all around the country with the same agenda regarding, the grooming or conditioning of these children to eventually then to embrace Zionism? And we know what the result is of that philosophy.
Yeah. Just to add, the South African Regulation of Foreign Military Assistance Act states that citizens are not allowed to render any foreign military assistance to any state unless special authorization was granted, and that they are not allowed to partake in acts of terrorism. And by not doing anything, especially the DA, where the school is based in a DA province, a DA municipality, with the DA and the Western Cape Education Department not doing anything, this would mean that they are also contributing to the aiding and abetting of acts of criminality by allowing young children to go and assist a colonizer from dispossessing Palestinians from their land. So just to add in conclusion as well, if I may, SEF would also like to call on South African governments to develop and to implement institutional frameworks that would enable effective investigations and prosecutions of all South Africans who aid and abet the crime of apartheid, and to prosecute them, especially if they are serving in the Israeli Defense Force under regulation of the Foreign Military Assistance Act of 1998. And to just say zero tolerance and to hold to account the full-minded law all South African organizations that support Israeli policies. And in conclusion, we call on South Africans and the international community to continue to stand in solidarity with the people of Palestine, and more so for the support and intensifying the resistance. Thank you.
Aishah Cassiem, Member of Parliament, EFF Western Cape Provincial Treasurer, thank you indeed for your thoughts on this matter, and keep that flag flying as high as you possibly can. Don't let this narrative, wither away and be forgotten. So thank you indeed for raising it, and we thank you for your time on the show this morning. Assalamu alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum salam, and thank you for having me.
9:22 exactly, news and views on Salam Media. Next, we are going to be talking World Refugee Day, and we'll be joined by Nazir Riaz Jamal, Chair of the Board for Penny Appeal South Africa. And I think we're also going to be speaking with Maulana Sohail Wadi, Exec Director at Ashrafu Aid. So please do stay with us. Lots of important discussions to be had on the remainder of the show this Tuesday morning, right here on Salam Media.
Conveniently located along the banks of the Crocodile River bordering the Kruger National Park, as a